The Minister of Finance and Treasury, Honourable Manasseh Sogavare, slams the leader of the opposition, Honourable Wale, reports on the $29 million tax exemption to Wan Chen Company Limited. The opposition leader last week called out the GNUT government's decision to provide tax exemption to Wan Chen Company Limited as blatant betrayal of the people of Solomon Islands. Speaking to local media today, Honourable Sogavare refutes the claims made by Honourable Wale and explains the exemption provided as advised by the Exemption Committee.
Well, the truth about the exemption in question is as follows, ladies and gentlemen. The company in question is proposing an investment in wharf and warehousing upgrade of $40.9 million and $52.2 million in apartment and resort project. A total of nearly $94 million of investment. On the 26th of February, 2024, the former Minister of Finance granted the company in question on the recommendations of the Exemption Committee. The Minister does not work alone. The Exemption Committee, after they are satisfied that investment will contribute immensely to the development of the country. Tax and duty exemptions order numbers 0122/24 and 0125/24 were issued before the national general elections. After the formation of the government, in early May 2024, I was appointed as Minister of Finance. On taking up the post, the Exemption Committee recommended that the Minister issue new orders on the same exemption, replacing the orders mentioned above, which is reviewable every 6 months. These orders are circulated in the media by some people who are working with the opposition and the media, so it is common knowledge. These orders will expire in a couple of weeks' time, in mid-November. That is to allow the government to review the implementation of the exemption, and that's how it works. The exemptions were hardly utilized, ladies and gentlemen. So there is very minimal loss of revenue. Very minimal. On the proposed tourist resort, the company only did backfilling on the project site and have yet to import the materials required for the resort. Some works are going on the construction of the wharf and warehouse at the Renati compound. And as noted earlier, ladies and gentlemen, the exemption was recommended by the Exemption Committee because of its strong connection to the sector highly prioritized by the government, and that is tourism. If we are to attract more tourists into the country, ladies and gentlemen, one of the critical issues we need to address is the problem of inadequate numbers of beds. We hear this from the Ministry of Tourism. The government needs investors to invest in these critical infrastructures. And as Minister of Finance, my duty is to ensure that government achieves its objective. This investment, ladies and gentlemen, is right within the strategy to achieve this objective. To demonstrate government's seriousness, we will, for the first time in years, increase the Ministry of Culture and Tourism budget in 2025.
Honourable Sogavare adds allegations made by the opposition leader against him in terms of his leadership and character is politically motivated.
We'll be submitting a full report on the utilization of the exemptions to justify any extensions. And I made it very clear to them over the weekend. What I also find very disturbing, ladies and gentlemen, is the allegation that I am out of control and pursuing my own interest in the Ministry of Finance. And after making very bold statements about exemptions on the floor of Parliament, I failed to live up to that commitment. I find that allegation very, very disturbing and insulting, and only goes to prove that people just do not care about what they are reporting, even if they are untrue and misleading, and at worst having political overtone. Just like any leaders, ladies and gentlemen, I find careless attack on my character and integrity very, very insulting, and I have a duty to protect it. I want to make it very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that I have not erred one bit from my commitment to implement the actions I announced on the floor of Parliament.
Honourable Sogavare also clarifies that he is yet to refuse any local exemption application that comes before him.
On other allegations, ladies and gentlemen, the report carelessly alleged that the government is not concerned about the people of this country. I find that very, very disturbing. Very disturbing. It is the same kind of attack by the opposition that led to the unfortunate situation we went through in 2021. It is now, costing us millions of dollars to address those who have suffered. As far as tax exemption is concerned, ladies and gentlemen, I have yet to turn down any genuine request for exemptions by Solomon Islanders, indigenous Solomon Islanders. Let me make this clear. There is nothing stopping Solomon Islanders to invest in tourism and other sectors to benefit from tax exemptions. Nothing stopping them. As a matter of fact, our tax system has provisions that specifically address indigenous investors. That's how serious the government is. The government is ever ready to assist any Solomon Islander who is willing to take the risk to venture into this sector.